Well, hello and welcome to This Month in Hamilton, our July 2024 edition. Want to start out by thanking WBCB 1490 AM radio for allowing us each and every month to bring you what's going on this month in Hamilton. Want to also thank our sponsors, Angela Wanafree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford-Subaru, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. And a special shout out to Angelo Wanafree. Many of you may have read in the newspapers that he's announced his retirement as the Mercer County Prosecutor effective August 1st. We are very sad to see him go. He's served in that role, I think, almost 10 years now, about 8 years or so. Done a phenomenal job here, keeping us safe in Mercer County, partnering with our different law enforcement agencies around the county. So sad to see him go. Congratulate him on whatever his next chapter is in life, and I'm sure the governor will appoint another great person to fill his shoes over at the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office. In terms of what's going on this month in Hamilton, I want to thank all of you who came out about 2 weeks ago or so. We're filming this on July 16th for our fireworks and concert over at Veterans Park. Many of you have come up to me and said it was one of the best, if not the best, fireworks performance we've had in town. I know it lasted even longer than usual. That might be part of it as well. Finale was great, great weather that evening too. It wasn't one of these 100-degree days that we seem to be having. So I want to thank everybody who came out for that to celebrate our country's 248th birthday. And we're really looking forward to 2 years from now when we'll be able to celebrate the 250th. And it has a really long official title as the 250th that I can't pronounce, so you'll forgive me if I don't talk about that. In terms of what's going on now in town, we plan for our next big event, which is National Night Out. National Night Out. Many of you have probably already seen many of the around town signs about National Night Out. That is always the first Tuesday evening in August. So it's easy to remember that way. This year it falls on August 6th. It's from 5 to about 8 p.m. In Veterans Park South. So if you were there for 4th of July, just do the same thing for National Night Out. We've got great community involvement, obviously. Our police department very involved, our fire department very involved, public works very involved, from interacting with the different employees, from touching the trucks, fire department letting kids take a turn on the hose, but also a great way to interact with different community partners, many of those involved with our first responders or different township agencies as well. And then one of my favorite parts of it is the dunk tank to raise money for a nonprofit. So we've done Miracle League, we've done Ryan's Quest. I can't recall who they have this year, but I'll be in the dunk tank. I'm usually in there about 5:30 or so. So if you have a couple moments, if you have a couple dollars, if you think you've got good aim with your pitching arm, please find us over at the dunk tank. Again, all the money goes to a nonprofit. I want to thank the Boy Scouts. They always volunteer to staff the event as well. So just a great evening in the community, and for you and your young ones to be able to interact with our firefighters, with our police officers in a very friendly, warm environment. So again, August 6th, Veterans Park South, 5 to 8 p.m. We hope to see you there. In terms of what else is going on around town, I hope many of you check out our library Facebook page. This was started during COVID, but they have a number of events going on. This weekend they just did a different Touch a Truck event in partnership with our Public Works over at the library. They've got a number of programming they do inside the library for both adults and for kids during the day. Right now, in partnership with Hamilton PAL, the Police Athletic League, they're running their Safety Town event for kids there. It's run between the library and the police station. So just a great job by the library in providing different resources, providing different activities, providing different programming. As many of you may have recalled, this year we received a grant from the federal government thanks to Congressman Kim and Senator Booker for just over $1.5 million to really make some improvements to our library. The building is roughly 50 years old, and basically everything in there is original. So now the library will be getting updated bathrooms, updated windows that were starting to have their seals crack, or the window and glass to be cracked, updates to the children's area as well. So really want to commend the library, the director over there, the board, also the friends of the library. If you don't know, they do a book sale every month to help raise money, put it right back into the library and different programming there. So they're another great resource if you're looking for things to do with your kids this summer, especially if you're looking for indoor things to do on a 100-degree day. Don't cost you any money. Get over there, let them read a book or two, let them participate in some of the kid activities that are going on. And just a great option for parents, families, grandparents looking to enrich their kids or grandkids a little bit more. In terms of what else is going on around town, you're going to see a lot of road paving projects. We've got a different one going on each and every week. Some of what we've started since 2020 is doing some parking lots in addition to roads. Well, you say, why parking lots? A lot of them are beat up and original parking lots, also over 50 years old, 40 years old, give or take. So we've done Vets Park South already. We taped this at the Golf Center. We've done the Golf Center one already. And I know one of the top complaints we get is for your individual street to be repaved. But given some of the lead line service replacement being conducted right now by Trenton Waterworks, by Aqua, it made sense for us to take some time and do some of these parking lots now rather than pave a road and then have one of those two water entities go in and tear it up, doing lead service line replacement. So we are still doing roads. It's not like we've skipped over roads entirely, but to time ourselves and not do too many roads to then where they're being torn up, this seemed like the opportune time to do some parking lots. So I know just a week or two ago, there were the District 12 tournaments at Sunnybray Little League. Anybody who went out there will notice their parking lot was done this year. We've got Hamilton Girls Softball also on the agenda to be repaved this year, and I think Nottingham Little League either this year or next year as well to be repaved. So we own these parking lots. We have a duty to maintain them, and so for the safety of those walking through them, we wanted to make sure they got repaved. And again, because we don't have to worry about Trenton Waterworks or Aqua going in to replace any lead service lines, this seemed like the opportune time to do that. So you'll be seeing our public works crews out there doing it as well. You'll be seeing a lot of construction going on. Construction is booming in town. Right now we're on pace to have a record-setting year in terms of the sheer dollar amount of construction going on in town. It means our staff is working very hard, so if you are waiting for an inspection because you took out a permit, please give us a little bit of breathing room to get out to you. We're doing the best we can as there's some staffing shortages, and obviously employees take their own summer vacations right now as well. But it is amazing how much construction is going on right now. We just opened Habit Burger within the last month, and so you're going to start seeing a lot of different improvements going on in town, 2 different businesses. Again, those ratables help stabilize your taxes. Getting a Habit Burger on Route 33 where there was just an empty parking lot contributes a little bit towards that. Getting a Valvoline next to that Habit Burger where it's been a vacant gas station now for years and years helps contribute towards that, et cetera, et cetera. So we think all these different stores that are being added are good things. You've got the Love Stuff and More that's being changed into a car wash. They're in front of our planning board, I think, next month. So just a lot even going on Route 33. So a lot of good stuff there. A lot of good development and businesses, but also some home projects going on too. One of the things we hear about is unaffordability of places to live, right? And so the Columbia Group's just finishing up their project behind the train station, And right now you've got Chris Vernon just starting his project across from the Pet Cemetery on Klockner Road. So, that supply and demand can never be seen more than when it comes to housing. And so with these new housing units, hopefully we'll help fill some of the demand of the many people who want to move into town or stay in town as they go on with their lives. One thing I do want to talk about real quick is traffic safety. So unfortunately, just in the last week, we've had two fatal car accidents, the one on Route 130 and Klockner Road, and then a pedestrian one on South Broad Street over the weekend. We've since, we already had it scheduled months ago, but we're going to be looking to partner with Street Smart NJ. We had a meeting with them last Tuesday. On different options that we can try to look at and identify some different hotspot areas to make Hamilton safer. I say to our police chief all the time, it's a blessing and a curse that speeding is probably our top complaint regarding the police department. It's something that we'll never be able to fully control because you're never going to fully control what people do when they get behind their car, whether it's texting, whether it's speeding, etc. But we're going to do our best to make sure that people are aware of the rules on the road, the consequences of their actions, and trying to make Hamilton as safe as it can be. So with that, I want to just talk a little bit about our guests. We have Melissa joining us from Better Business Bureau today. They obviously, you all know about Better Business Bureau. I'm sure if you've done looking for different services in town and different projects in town, researching different companies, right? You're looking for that little icon, that BBB icon that lets you know they're a reputable business, that they've been researched. And so their headquarters here, one of the regional headquarters, is located right here in Hamilton. So with you being so busy and with people spending money, it's a great time to make sure people know about the different resources that are available to them as they research the project they want to get done, the business they want to do it with, and make sure, first and foremost, they're not being scammed or they don't get a bad product on the back end. So we're going to take a short break. Again, we'll be joined by Melissa from Better Business Bureau in just a little bit.
Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 609-890-2600. Or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities. Whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event, staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Well, hello and welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angelo Honorfree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford and Subaru, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So, Melissa, good morning.
Good morning, Mayor.
Thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you for the invite. I'm so happy to be here.
Oh, certainly. And for those listening, for those watching, just tell our audience a little bit about yourself, kind of how you got involved with Better Business Bureau, how long you've been there, things like that.
Sure. Well, my name is Melissa Companick, and I am the president and CEO of the Better Business Bureau for the entire state of New Jersey. We are headquartered here in Hamilton and have been for 38 years. I started 20 years ago. I'll be celebrating my 20th anniversary in September of this year. I started doing public relations and marketing, and eventually the CEO was setting to retire, and I said, I'm very interested in the position, and she kind of guided me along the way, and I've been serving at the pleasure of our board of directors for, since that time.
So how long have you been CEO now?
I became CEO in 2008.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
Yep.
Right. How's that been?
It's educational every single day. So there's challenges. Again, even after 20 years, I have conversations with my team members. Something came up today. I had something last week to say, this is a situation we have never encountered before, and we're going to navigate our way through it. I say it's job security because one of the main services that we provide is dispute resolution. So handling complaints is the bread and butter, kind of what we do. And unfortunately, there's always going to be people that are unhappy about something or other. So like I said, it is job security. It takes a very special bunch of people, I think, to deal with people who they're mad at somebody else, but they have you on the phone, so they're going to try and, you need to help me, so we're not we're here to, be the go-between. So we're here to, to let businesses know, okay, this person has said, they're having an issue and they'd like you to give you the opportunity to resolve it, and, let the business come back and say, yeah, well, we want to keep you a happy customer, so let's address that. And fortunately, 80% of the time we can help get resolution in those complaints. Yeah. So if you come to BBB, if you have an issue, come to BBB, and 80% of the time, 8 times out of 10, we're going to be able to help you get what you want.
Wow, that's awesome. And I know nothing about people contacting you complaining about a neighbor or something else, right? But what's the history of BBB, both in New Jersey and then kind of nationally as well?
Sure. Yep. So in New Jersey, our BBB was established in 1966.
Wow.
So we have a pretty storied history overall. So we are a federation of individual BBBs across North America.
Okay.
And the very first one was started in 1912.
Wow.
So we have a very, deep-rooted history across the United States. The first BBB was actually in Minnesota. And what we've been doing all that time, this 100-plus years, we're here to guide you to good businesses. We want to support good business practices in the marketplace. We want to denounce substandard marketplace behavior. We challenge advertising. We want people to advertise honestly. Sometimes it's, people say they like to make claims, I'm number one. We're the number one in the area. We're the number one in the county. We're the number one in the township. And that's something we would actually challenge and say, hey, you have to prove it. So a lot of what we do is is ask for substantiation of things, But again, when we know businesses are operating honestly, and then the consumers, in the town, in the state, in the country, you can trust them. I mean, that benefits everybody.
So how do you learn about, different businesses, right? There's always businesses coming and going, starting and stopping, right?
Right.
That's got to be, and you got all of New Jersey, right? That's a huge undertaking.
We do, yes. So, and we kind of even just have a small portion of it. So we have reports on about 70,000 businesses in the state of New Jersey.
Just in New Jersey.
Just in New Jersey. But that is by no means every business that's out there. According to the census, I think we have, 280, upwards of 300,000 businesses in the state.
Wow.
So you get a report, you can get a business profile at BBB. Companies can voluntarily register with us when they want to say, hey, I want to show people simple. I'm honest. I have a good rating. I'll deal with complaints. So they can register voluntarily. And then the other way usually we get reports is when a consumer files a complaint. So if we have no information, we will go ahead, and then open up a file and then develop a rating and a profile on that business based on that activity. So we have, like I said, a rating system. So that's A+ through F, very much like school. We hope it's simple. Sometimes people say, they have a D. Is that good? Is this somebody I should deal with? So we try to make it as simple as possible. We want to guide people toward our A+ accredited businesses that we have vetted against our standards. So we are a standards-based organization, and say, here, yes, we want you to go to, like I said, the A+ accredited businesses. And, or if a company has a bad rating, we will explain why. So we look at the same factors, whether a company is accredited with us or not. We rate based on the same, set of criteria in our algorithm. And one of the biggest things that to us at the BBB is how a company is going to handle complaints. So even, you could be a car dealership that's been in business for 40 years, you get a complaint from a consumer. If you choose not to answer it, your rating could literally go from A+ to F overnight.
Wow.
So the rating, they're dynamic. Ratings can change. A company can kind of be poor and they can say, hey, I didn't know I had this bad rating with BBB. I want to clean that up.
Sure.
Because I want to be rated better. So it works both ways. But
now, generically, people know about BBB, right? Any homeowner, definitely does from looking at different contractors or whatever, right?
We hope.
But how do companies kind of learn generally about you or approach BBB, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. And when I've given speeches in the past, I always say, how many people have heard of BBB? Raise your hand. And many hands go up. And a lot of times, an older audience, we're trying to reconnect with a younger audience as well. But then when I say, how many people know what BBB does? Far fewer hands go up.
Sure.
So, we have an online presence. People can come to our website 24/7, bbb.org. It'll know, it knows where you are based on where your IP address is, so it'll serve you, the businesses that are closest to you. But we are trying to get more involved specifically in Hamilton, but within the business community to say, hey, we're here, and BBB is a resource for you as businesses to say, we want you to earn that accreditation seal, and that demonstrates to your customers, yes, I'm honest, I'm trustworthy, I'm going to do the right thing. I put my money where my mouth is, so to speak, that I'm going to do, again, take care of my customers. We don't want there to be an issue, but if there is, we'll go ahead and do that. So. And
then they can use that on their marketing materials.
Yes,
right?
They absolutely can. Yeah, website and business cards and. Yep. Yeah, we want people. We say, it's a sign of a better business. You want to look for the BBB accredited business seal.
Right, and as a consumer, it gives you a little bit of a reassurance knowing that somebody is registered, is accredited, and potentially what their grade is too, if they have a grade as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And we encourage people, before you do business with a company, go to bbb.org. You can call our office. We actually do have live service representatives that'll answer your call.
Wow.
If you have questions, and tell you, what is the business history with BBB? What is their rating? Have there been any complaints? Did they resolve those complaints? And I would like to stress too, for on the consumer side, it's not necessarily have there been complaints. Again, it's more important to say, okay, how did they address the complaint? If it was resolved, okay. If I have an issue, again, I know they're going to try and work with me to get resolution to whatever problem may have happened.
Yeah, no person is perfect, so no business is perfect, right?
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Now that sounds like a lot of work. How big is your staff that you manage?
I say very often that we are a small but mighty team. My team is only 15 people.
Wow.
Yeah, between full-time and part-time. So,
wow.
We just, we process about 6,000 complaints a month.
Wow.
Yeah, in the office. And we do customer reviews on top of that. We get about 3,000 customer reviews that are filed, and this is all just against businesses here in New Jersey that we process.
That's a lot to keep track of for 15 people.
Yes. Yes, I'm very proud.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of our group here.
Now, take me a little bit, rewind 4 years ago, right? We're just in the beginning of COVID, right? And businesses are freaking out. People are freaking out, right? Did that impact BBB? How did kind of BBB handle some of those things, right? I mean, especially as you were almost looking for a contractor if you needed something done. If you needed HVAC improvements, we got our HVAC totally replaced during it, right? You wanted to
Right.
know the person you were contracting with,
Yeah.
even more so than ever, right? It was almost like, attuned to what was going on at the time as
Right.
well.
Yeah. And COVID was an interesting time because that's when because we were all at home.
Yeah.
People are saying, well, I'm home. I'm kind of getting sick of looking at the paint on my walls. Now I'm going to paint. I'm going to, make all kinds of home improvements. So that there was an influx for sure to say, okay, I need to find somebody that I can trust. During the time period, we saw too, a lot of businesses didn't recover after COVID as well. A lot of times we deal with family businesses, from generation to generation,
Sure.
like you said, a plumber or whatever, and then kind of petering out at this point in some cases.
Wow. Now, you said you have BBB NJ, right? Headquartered here in Hamilton.
Correct.
But you're part of a North American federation, is that the?
Yes. Yep.
So
that's where it
what's
is.
do you have any contact with BBB in Delaware or Pennsylvania, right? I mean, we're right on the border, right,
Yes.
of Pennsylvania, right? So how
Absolutely.
does that kind of work, if at all?
Well, we are each our own independent nonprofit corporation.
Okay.
We have a parent organization called the International Association of Better Business Bureaus. That's IABBB. So we use Better Business Bureau as BBB.
Sure.
And then our parent organization. So they set, our standard operating procedure, policy, and things like that. But each individual BBB is run by its own board of directors.
Gotcha.
So we have a board here in New Jersey. It's 19 members. My board's actually bigger than my staff.
Wow,
actually.
yes. Look at that.
Yeah.
They should get to work too.
Yeah.
You know?
So, and they are volunteers from the business community. So these are accredited businesses from all over the state of New Jersey, in various trades, and they have various expertise. I mean, we have bankers, we have a photographer, we have insurance, so it runs the gamut. So, again, they make our decisions, kind of here locally in New Jersey. But yeah, we have we border, New York, Metro
Sure.
New York City. We have Washington, D.C., Philadelphia. We have Delaware. So we have very good working relationships and share information quite readily with our sister BBBs, especially because you do, when we're talking about kind of, schemes or scams or something like that, or if you have a home improvement company that could be running, just, making their way across the borders. Well, here I'm in South Jersey. I'll flip right over into Pennsylvania, so we can share information very readily and get it out there to our consumers in each of our marketplaces.
Yeah, because there's constantly back and forth, right? You could be a Hamilton contractor going to Bucks County to do work, or
Sure
vice
can.
versa, right? And so you want to almost figure out and find where they're kind of reviewed from, right?
Right, exactly, and we can check all that too. And many people do, yes. Well,
Just online,
I
yeah.
live here in Mercer County, but I go right across that, Trenton Makes Bridge,
Yep.
to service my other clients, and we can check their licensing and make sure, okay, yeah, you're here in New Jersey, and make sure you have the right licenses in Pennsylvania as well. And if they don't, we'll report that for sure.
Sure. Well, Melissa, we got to take our first break. I know that was a lot of information. We got a lot more to talk about, but we'll be back with Melissa in just a little bit.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford-Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford-Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford-Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford-Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Capital Health's primary care network continues to grow, bringing its extensive option of locations to your neighborhood. Whether you're scheduling a wellness checkup or not feeling well, advanced medicine starts with a Capital Health primary care doctor at locations near you in Mercer, Bucks, and Burlington counties. To find a Capital Health primary care location that's convenient for you, visit capitalmedicalgroup.org. That's capitalmedicalgroup.org. Hamilton Township in Mercer County is fortunate to have many fine businesses that serve our community. Saul Funeral Home is a fourth-generation family-owned business proud to support our local schools and community. Their compassionate and caring staff is there for you and your family. They'll bring the closure you deserve while also celebrating the life of your loved one. Visit their website at saulfuneralhomes.com. That's saulfuneralhomes.com. Saul Funeral Home at 3795 Nottingham Way, Hamilton Square.
Hi, this is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I'm proud to help sponsor today's show and promote what's happening in our community. All residents of your hometown should stay involved and participate in community activities, whether it's volunteering to help make your town clean, or volunteering at the animal shelter, or helping at a local youth event. Staying involved in your community makes your hometown a great place to live. This is Mercer County Prosecutor Angelo Honorfree, and I hope you enjoyed today's show.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angelo Honorfree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford-Subaru, Saul Funeral Homes, and Kessel Dermatology. So Melissa, when we left, we were talking about different, tracking people, right? Maybe across lines and things like that. New Jersey now has a history over the last decade. Really, the last big storm I know people really talk about is Sandy, right? But we've had a few since then.
Right.
And with that comes all sorts of damage and trauma, emotional and otherwise, to the thing people love the most, right, which is their home, right? And then they need different businesses to help them get through things, right? So they're in an emotionally vulnerable place, right? What's BBB's involvement in situations like that?
So we did come up specifically after Sandy, which was some time ago now, but we came up with a very special set of circumstances for vetting home improvement contractors, that we could say with confidence, as much as we could, that you can trust them.
Sure.
The kind of a more rigorous set of standards, about, again, you're coming from Florida or Georgia, and coming up to New Jersey, so you have to have some kind of physical presence here. Certainly you have to be licensed. That goes without saying, but sometimes, that can happen very quickly. So we adapt to the times and we say, listen, let's make sure, ultra sure, at this point in time. Again, when people are very fragile, vulnerable, you're thinking emotionally, not rationally necessarily as the homeowner and decision maker. We'll always say you want to avoid somebody, that just knocks on your door soliciting you when you haven't reached out to them to say, oh, I do have a problem with my driveway, with my chimney, with trees being down, something like that. So you want to be very cautious. Even if somebody, is like, hey, I'm working up the street, and I noticed you have some cracks in your driveway, and I can do it for you for a song, so you want to be really careful about that, and also get everything in writing. You don't want to make any handshake deals. Well, he looked honest, type of thing. Get everything, on an actual contract. What's the timeline going to be? What's what kind of payment processes are going to be? You never want to pay for everything fully up front. You want to pay with a method that if there's an issue, hopefully you have a means to, if you can try and get a refund, do that. So not necessarily write a check. You want to use your credit card. Say, well, if I need to dispute the charge down the road, because even just this week I've been reading complaints where, people said they were going to do this, they needed the money for materials, I gave them the money, and poof, now they're gone, and it's hard. And in this day and age too, with people saying, just Zelle me, Venmo me, type of thing, and that's very difficult to retrieve, and that's why there's so many warnings before you send money through that method to say, do you know this actual person? But it's basically like handing them cash, and if they run down the street, it's gone. So there's a lot of precautions we to tell from the consumer side, how to work with contractors. And
again, going back to an emotional time, right? But a lot of these contractors legitimately are coming from Florida, South Carolina, Texas, Alabama, where there are major storms, and they have the expertise in flood remediation, mold remediation, right?
Right.
But then for every good actor, there seems to be a bad actor too, right?
Right.
And so how does BBB of New Jersey kind of, John could be coming from Georgia saying, I'm a storm expert and knocking on your door. Maybe he is and maybe he isn't, but this could be the first time he's come up to New Jersey. you know?
Right. Well, our motto at the BBB is start with trust. So we want you to do that, but we want you to be wise in that process. And you have to understand, too, there's different requirements in different states, as far as licensure goes. So not every state requires you to have a certain registration as a home improvement contractor. Some states, it's individual city you have to do it. I know Philadelphia has, certain trades, just you need that license in Philadelphia. So, as a consumer, your average, John Q. citizen is not going to know, well, this person, they need a plumbing license, they need this, but, the internet is a wonderful place, and BBB is a wonderful place. So you can go to our website. Again, you can call us, and say, does this sound fishy? Should I go forward with this? And we always want to say, want to be smart with your hard-earned money. You don't have to be kind. You can, and does every business have to start somewhere? Yes, every business, had their grand opening,
Sure.
their first day of operations. But you want to, there's precautions you can take to, well, let me do some research. Let me do some research beforehand. And then if you're someone I want to hire, let me, if you've done work in the area, let me take a look at some of the other work. But, again, you don't want to make any rash decisions. Do your research. It can save a lot of heartache, and lost money down the road.
Now, what's the phone number if somebody wants to call? Maybe they're not as tech savvy, right?
Absolutely.
If they want to call BBB of New Jersey, what's the phone number, best number to dial?
It is 609-588-0808.
Can you give that again?
Sure, 609-588-0808.
Lots of eights, nice and easy to remember.
Yes, we're Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So our phones are open from 9 until 1 every day. And then from 1 until 4, from 2 until 4 on Mondays and Tuesdays.
Okay.
And then from 2 until 3 on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday.
But the easiest is between 9 and 1 if you can.
Yes.
Monday through Friday, right?
Correct. Yes.
Just
And
call
you
their-
will speak, you'll speak to a live service representative.
Gotcha.
Absolutely no IVR, no press 1 for this, no press 2 for that.
And
so.
any charge for calling or going on the website as a consumer to get information, look for information, file a complaint, anything like that?
Absolutely not. Our services are 100% free.
So for those thinking, how does BBB of New Jersey get its money? You have 15 employees. How does it operate then?
Right. So we are funded by our accredited businesses
Okay.
who do pay annual dues. And then, like I said, they are evaluated against our standards. So they actually signed a contract with BBB to uphold
wow.
our standards and continually do that. And should they not, they will be revoked as an accredited business. So just as easily as we can, put that seal in their business profile, if they should fail to answer a complaint or have a government action or lose their license, refuse to, not renew their license, then it will just as easily say revoked in that business profile.
Gotcha.
So,
And that has to be probably a determination by the board, right?
absolutely correct.
Yeah,
Yes.
So you don't just get to make a decision. Well, I didn't like the way they served me this ice cream, so Carvel, you're revoked, kind of thing. You
Right,
know?
exactly. And
Yeah.
and that applies to the rating as well. So we do get businesses, that appeal to us. The way a business owner, you might say, well, can you, again, I had a bad experience. I want some portion of my money back or whatever. But the rating is the rating. So it's not an individualized decision. It's not, are you nice? Were you mean to me type of thing. So the rating is based on set factors. And accreditation, yes, is set on standards. And we work with our ABs, to avoid the point of revocation should it come to that. We want you to stand by that seal. We want you to keep advertising, the sign of being a better business to your
Sure.
customers. But again, we mean what we say, and should you fail to do that, then accreditation is not in perpetuity, and people are going to know that.
So it's not
publicly.
just one of these things where you get to buy your way onto a top 40 list, right? You've got
Correct.
to actually follow up and do the work and treat your customers fairly to get that accreditation and get that grade.
Correct. You are absolutely right. And I want to make a distinction as well, because some people say you get a better rating if you are a BBB accredited business, and that is not true. So I always like to underscore that. The highest you can get is an A+. You can get an A+ whether you're accredited with us or not. Deciding to say, hey, I want to be vetted by BBB, and making that dues payment every year, that has no bearing on your rating whatsoever.
Gotcha. That just gives you that little extra when you're going out to potentially get a consumer, get a client, right? That,
Yes.
you're as the consumer, you're getting a good business to do business with.
Absolutely. That's correct.
But yeah, too often we see, we've selected you to be a top, I'm an attorney by trade, right? You're a top 40 attorney. Why don't you send us a check for $1,000 and blah, blah, blah,
And we'll
right?
send you this lovely plaque in
Yes.
return that you can advertise.
Yes.
It's certainly not that way.
Yes.
Correct. Yeah, we have a team. Applications come through, and I have one dedicated person on my team who reviews. That's what he does. He reviews not only new but renewing, applications as well, because it's not just when you come in
Sure.
as your first time as accredited business. We continually review you, and make sure that you do keep meeting those standards. So I do have one person that does that, and then it comes to me. So it's actually hard to get that seal. It's something you have to work for.
Yeah,
we
absolutely.
approve it, and then it is finally approved by our board of directors as well. So it's certainly not let me write you a check or take my credit card number today and we flip a switch. It's a process.
Yeah. Has Google made things easier, right? Because, you're headquartered here in Hamilton, right? But, John Smith Plumbing reaches out and says, I want to get accredited. And you can go on Google Maps and see, do they have a storefront and things like that, right? Or did they put down an address and they really don't have a storefront? And you're not driving up to Warren County or Cape May County to see these things anymore.
Right. That's very interesting, because we do work very, very hard to be accredited. You do have to have a physical location here in our state of New Jersey. Now, we are in a day and age where business owners, they run a lot out of their home.
Sure.
You don't need a storefront anymore. You have a home office and you can do it that way. But we do take, verify every single one of our accredited businesses to make sure, yes, they are physically here. It's okay if your business is entirely, online or in the ether world or whatever it is, but we do make sure, that you're here.
That you have a physical address
Yep.
somewhere that we can mail you something or send a complaint, all that kind of stuff. right?
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah.
And so it makes it a little easier that way too, right?
Yes. The way we would verify, we definitely verify.
And Google reviews is probably a mixed blessing, right? More information, but not necessarily. We've seen floods of, somebody posted something, so they get a flood from all over the country giving them 1 stars and tank their, review, or the opposite, right?
Yeah.
Give them 1,000 5 stars, and they may not be a reputable business. So it's subject to the whims of the internet as well, kind of thing.
There's kind of two things on that. It's interesting because we also offer reviews. We work very hard to verify that the reviews are coming in are legitimately from a customer of that particular business, good or bad, whatever experience they're reporting. So again, there's a process for that. You can't just leave it. And our own BBB Google profile, we are often the subject of people complaining about other businesses.
Sure.
They're saying, well, yes, whatever.
John's carpentry business, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I had a terrible experience with them, and we have to work hard to get those reviews taken down off of our profile. So we're not, we're kind of in the mix of it as well. We work very hard to say, please, we ask Google to take it down and say, please direct your review to the actual, their page and not the BBB page. So it is confusing. People, they're click happy these days.
Sure.
You see ads or you see lists. Let me just click on it and I'll do it, and it's done. And that's why we say, please do your research, read, read the instructions, things like that.
Yeah, it's a mixed blessing, right? Because people just want that instant feedback, and they're not necessarily figuring out why maybe somebody posted this, or is it something happened and 1,000 people flooded a review all in the same day, kind of thing.
Right, but it is what we all rely on these days,
Sure.
right? I mean, you shop, whether it's Amazon or online, or you're booking a hotel or whatever, Airbnb, and what was other people's experiences? So.
Or the Jersey phrase, I got a guy, right? I got a guy who does this, or I got a guy who does that, right? I mean, that's the epitome of Jersey, right?
Oh, that's so funny. Yes, true.
You're relying on somebody else's referral.
Yes.
Right, and recommendation and opinion and all of that.
Right.
That's just in a more one-on-one setting than online or through BBB kind of thing. But,
right.
You are the ultimate. I got a guy for X, right?
I feel like the new marketing campaign might be coming out of that.
Maybe. Are there? So in terms of the businesses you do, I guess review, right? Are there ones are there types of businesses you exclude, or does it pretty much? I mean, there's hundreds of different types of businesses, right?
Correct.
Does it run the gamut that way?
It really does. I say, we go, from accountants. I can't think of like zoologists, maybe. I don't know. I say yoga studio. That's about as far down as I can get. Yeah, we can report on basically any business.
Wow.
We won't accept every type of business as an accredited business. There are a few, that we'll exclude because we just can't, because we think either they're inherently problematic, or we just would never have enough information to rate them. Something like a psychic,
Sure.
you can't gauge their performance
Yes.
and what they deliver, to their customers. So yeah, there we go. We'll take report on every type of business, and again, we look at the same factors regardless. So there's not a different set for lawyers as there is for a retail store, as there is for a car dealership, as there is for a plumber. It's all the same set of standards. So it's as objective as we can possibly be. So the reviews come in. That's more of the opinion. Of what the customers are saying, but as far our rating, our profile is our opinion. It's BBB's opinion of how this business is likely to deal with you.
Sure.
If you have an interaction with them.
Awesome. So we're going to take our last break. When we come back, we'll finish talking with Melissa of the Better Business Bureau.
Merrill Reese, here to tell you about my good friends at Haldeman Ford-Subaru on Route 33 in Hamilton Township. For outstanding sales and service, you can depend on the folks at Haldeman Ford-Subaru for the best value on new and pre-owned Ford cars, trucks, and SUVs, along with a great selection of value-priced new and pre-owned Subarus. And no one offers the service that Haldeman does in their huge, state-of-the-art service facility. Service so great that many area municipalities and commercial fleets get their service performed by Haldeman Ford-Subaru. From Langhorne to Princeton, folks like you to commercial fleets trust the name Haldeman for sales and service. Haldeman Ford-Subaru, Route 33 in Hamilton Township. Kessel Dermatology in Hamilton Square is an award-winning dermatology practice led by Dr. Daniel Kessel, a board-certified dermatologist. He and his expert staff treat patients of all ages. They offer treatments of all types of skin, hair, and nail conditions, and annual skin cancer screenings, anti-aging treatments, ultraviolet A and B light treatments, skin tightening procedures, Botox, and other treatments that enhance your skin's overall health and appearance. Kessel Dermatology is open Monday through Thursday, 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., Friday, 7 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. For appointments, call 609-890-2600. That's 609-890-2600. Or visit KesselDermatology.com. They're at 1700 Whitehorse, Hamilton Square Road. Kessel Dermatology. They're good.
Well, welcome back to This Month in Hamilton. Want to again start out by thanking our sponsors, Angela Wanafree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman Ford and Subaru, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. So Melissa, in the last segment, we talked a little bit about like Hurricane Sandy and people coming up, things like that, right? The reason I was thinking of that is often a year or two or three after the event, you start reading news articles about the attorney general or a county prosecutor charging individuals or businesses with consumer fraud and things like that.
Right.
Does your office make referrals, referrals to law enforcement agencies if you're seeing things that might not be on the up and up that way?
We do. We have a kind of reciprocal relationships, especially here in New Jersey, obviously, but also with other, attorney general's offices across the United States. So we will try and call it out, if we see a pattern arising very quickly. But we get requests as well, from offices, again, here in New Jersey. It could be really any state, and a lot of times they're looking for the complaints that have been filed about a business to see, are they in violation of, their local state laws as well, and will they take an action, and should, an action come of it, whether it's this week I've been reading about indictments, but it could be a consent order or something like that, an agreement that they sign, that actually will go into the company's BBB business profile.
Gotcha.
So if there are actions filed by a government agency that involve that buyer-seller relationship, we will report that again. So it's to do your research, and it's to be known out there.
Gotcha.
Here's what this company did. Are they going to make due on it? Are they going to make good? Sometimes there's fines involved and restitution and things like that. Or if you feel that you were a victim, you can be part of it as well. Make your claim to be part of it as well. So a lot of the times it's our complaints from BBB that get that ball rolling.
Absolutely. Because a lot of people don't think to go to the state attorney general's office, right? They think more BBB and go and make that complaint kind of thing, right?
Right. Well, I always say we're a great first start because, like I said, our services are free, and we will get our process, our timeline for a complaint is about 30 days.
Oh, wow.
So it's not long drawn out, like a legal or court
Sure.
system can be necessarily. So you should have an answer to your issue, one way or another, for good or for bad, within 30 days. And like I said, most of the time we can help. 8 times out of 10 we can help. For those ones that we can't, we will refer you to the next agency. A lot of times that'll be, the Division of Consumer Affairs up in Newark,
Yes.
for here in New Jersey. So if we can't help, we do our very best to get you to the agency that can. And that's true for even the issues that we can't handle. So we don't handle every complaint, So again, if maybe you're having a problem with your employer, wage and hour, they're not paying you right or something, is off. So we would refer you to the State Department of Labor.
Gotcha.
So again, we're a resource, not just for help, but, if we can guide you to the best agency that can help you too.
And what about along with that, right? A company, maybe it's not in the legal system yet, whether or not it gets there, but seems to be scamming people, right? We talked about showing up, knocking on your door. Hey, I'm in the area and I can cut down this tree for $5, right? Like, do you guys have scam resources? Do you do anything with that as well?
Right. So we do. We have a scam tracker. So we have
Okay.
our BBB scam tracker, which is, again, to report if you feel that you've been a victim of an illegitimate company. So it can be something we see very typically and sadly are employment scams. So and using legitimate resources like Indeed, like LinkedIn, these fake companies that are very often overseas, reach out, will send you maybe a text or insist, let me contact you by WhatsApp, kind of not your traditional ways of getting in touch when you're seeking or, when you're hiring or looking for employment, and say, okay, you can work from home. That's always a red flag as far as BBB is concerned. Any work from home opportunity is just steer clear of it. But they'll say, we'll pay you to work from home. You can earn thousands and thousands of dollars a month. All you have to do is you're going to receive packages. All you have to do is open them, put them in a new box, put a new label on them, bring into UPS or the post office or whatever, and ship them back out. And you're going to make thousands and thousands of dollars this way. It's not skilled work, so you have to. We always say, if it sounds too good to be true,
Yes.
it is. We always say it probably is, but it really probably is better to say it is.
My dad drilled that into my head from a young age,
Well,
right?
good man.
Yes.
Very smart. It's wise, And again, if you're down on your luck and you say, "Look, I've been looking for a job for so long, and it's really difficult to find something. I'm kind of getting desperate. This sounds great."
I've got young kids, right? And
Yeah,
I
I've
need
got
to be
I've got
home
rent
and-
to pay. I've got a mortgage to pay. Yeah, I've got childcare. I've got food to buy. Of course, it's a serious thing. And these scammers that prey, and take advantage of that are, it's really, really a sad situation. But before you answer something like that, you can, Google it. And a lot of times our scam people who have reported it, even if you're getting a call from a number, an email, you can Google all that stuff. And our BBB scam tracker reports will show up in your search results. So you can say, all right, somebody else reported this. I'm not going to waste my time on it.
Yeah.
And if you do, and the thing is, if you also feel you have been a victim, there's no shame in that, because fraudsters are, they're very savvy and they know how to play on your emotions and your guilt or, again, not rational decision making. Report it to BBB Scam Tracker. So it's on bbb.org. There's a button for Scam Tracker. So if
Okay.
you feel that you or someone a parent, somebody you care for, report it so that you can help warn others as well.
Gotcha. Now, in terms of people getting in touch with you, talked about the phone number, we talked about your website, right? I assume Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all those kinds of things as well.
We have Facebook, we have Twitter, and LinkedIn.
LinkedIn.
So yes,
Okay.
we're not Instagram yet. We're
You gotta get more.
we're a little
pictures,
camera
right?
shy. Exactly,
Yes.
we're a little
Yeah.
camera shy at this point.
That's all right.
Yes.
That's all right.
And it's BBB New Jersey. It's either BBB New Jersey or BBB Serving New Jersey are our
Okay.
social handles.
All right. But if people Google it, right, they'll find it easy enough as well.
We should.
right?
We hope. Yes.
Do you run into instances, we talked a lot about advertising, businesses advertise their accreditation or their grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you find businesses, and how do you handle it, who aren't accredited, who aren't graded or who misrepresent their grade? How does that get handled?
I have one person on my team who handles all of that. We call it advertising review and logo
Okay.
violations. So that is her full-time job. It is a full-time job to keep up with it. So we do have people. Most often, what they'll do, they'll have our seal on their website. They'll just lift it off of our website, and they can plop it on theirs. And we try and get in touch with them and say, this it's trademarked. It really is. So we would like you to remove it, and we ask them to voluntarily cooperate with us. And if they don't, it lowers your rating. It does affect your rating.
Sure.
That's a serious infringement.
Sure,
We
I
consider
imagine,
that, kind of very high level. And it gets published in the business profile to say this company is not accredited. They do not have permission to use our logo. We did ask them to remove it, and we never heard from them.
If they're
That'll go in
misrepresenting
there.
that, right? What else are they going to misrepresent
Exactly.
to a
And
potential customer?
And I'll say that too. If you do see the seal, if you're looking for a company and you see the seal on the website, it should be clickable. It's a dynamic seal.
okay.
You should be able to click on it, which takes you to their business profile, which should validate, yes, they've been accredited for this long. Here is their rating, things like that. So if you don't see that, it could be a glitch. So again, you can always call us as well, or you can try and pull up their profile separately, or you can call our office and we can verify whether the company is actually accredited.
Yeah, because 95% or more are going to do the right thing, right? But there's always that small percentage that, want to misrepresent in one way or the other, right?
Yes, or they blame their webmaster. I didn't know they put it up there. They just put it on there. I didn't tell them to, but we'll take
Exactly.
care of it type
Yeah.
of thing. So
Yeah. Melissa, just have a few moments left, right? What else do you want our audience to know about BBB NJ? I added in the NJ because obviously you're
We
here
are.
for the New Jersey portion of it, right? But in terms of what they should be doing, how they can get in contact with you, anything you want to leave them with so they know a little bit more about your organization.
Sure. Well, I always like to say this was when I first started. Our slogan at the time was investigate before you invest. So I always tell people, it's your money that you have. It's hard earned. You want to be really smart with it. At this day and age, we're so comfortable. Amazon, like 3 clicks, and you order something. Just investigate. Think of BBB. We're not always top of mind, and that's really what we're trying to do is say, we are here. We have been here. The BBB itself has been here since 1912. In New Jersey, we're here since 1966. We have live people that you can talk to. So, look for a BBB business profile. And you know what? If we don't have one, we can create one. You can actually make a request to create one as well.
Oh, so if you're a new business, right,
Yes.
starting out, right, whether
Yep.
it's a retail shop or a lawyer or accountant or whatever, right?
Yes.
You
Yep.
can reach out and then start.
Get yourself registered, yeah.
Gotcha.
So that's one way to people verify you. Like you said, we were talking about everybody starts somewhere.
Sure.
And we create that profile. You might not be rated right away. We want you to be in business at least 6 months so that you demonstrate some kind of good or
History,
bad,
right.
yeah, in the marketplace. But at least we can verify. Yeah, they were formed on this date. They got licensed on this date. No customer complaints at this time. People can start leaving reviews for your business as well. It's not all about the complaints,
Sure.
which is what people, I think, associate with BBB a lot. But we're more than that. We're more than just complaints and dispute resolution. We really are a resource, to help you in all aspects of, again, spending your money in the marketplace.
And on the consumer side, free.
Absolutely. Yes.
So to your point, right, before you invest that hard-earned money, you don't have to feel like you have to invest more to investigate. Right?
Exactly. Yep.
You
should be at your fingertips.
Yes.
And we are one resource. You can use multiple resources too. Check them out. You can call. I think you can call Consumer Affairs. That used to be back in the day. You could do that. But there's other resources. Look at their other reviews on Google, on Yelp, things like that.
Yeah.
But keep BBB up there.
Absolutely. Well, I really want to thank you for joining us. It's been educational for me. I'm sure it's been educational for our listeners as well. And many of our listeners are in Bucks County in eastern Pennsylvania that way too. So they, I'm sure, will be on your website or trying to get to your website or on the PA version
It's
too.
the same. Services are the same across the state lines. So,
Gotcha.
yep, should be equal.
Perfect. But really want to thank you. Want to thank you for what you're doing for people across New Jersey, but especially in Hamilton, and making sure they're served by good businesses, because less headaches in life is always better. And I guarantee you, if they're calling you about a complaint, they're probably also calling us about a complaint, right? Whether
Yes.
it's an inspection that was done that they didn't like from, our plumbing inspector now has to go and review shoddy work and has to shut down a job and all those those kinds of things, right, can be avoided by doing some of that research up front.
Sure can.
And saving everybody time and effort, and especially money. So really want to thank you. Want to thank our listeners, as well as WBCB 1490 AM and our sponsors, for allowing us to bring you each and every month, this month, what's going on in Hamilton. So thank you to Angela Wanafree in the Mercer County Prosecutor's Office, Capital Health System, Haldeman, Ford and Subaru, Saul Funeral Home, and Kessel Dermatology. And with that, we will see you in August. We'll be joined by Dr. Rocco. It's hard to imagine. We have him every August to talk about what's going on with the upcoming school year. And so it's hard to think that he'll be on next month to talk about what's going on in the upcoming school year, where school's only been out about a month now. But we hope if you are on summer break that you're enjoying it and enjoying it safely. And with that, we will see you in August.